Bad Boy, told me that he smacked his mother.
That video of him and Cassie and what he did to her, I believe it now, man.
Well, yeah, listen.
Burles, the president at the time, a bad boy, told me that he smacked his mother in a video of him and Cassie. And what he did to her, I believe it now, man. Well, yeah, listen, I love you. Music, 2 Word on the Street, suggests that Diddy's mother has finally had it with her son. And it seems she is ready to come out and spill the beans on his shady dealings. So what exactly is she allegedly going to reveal in a recent interview? Deal, a former bodyguard for Sean Diddy Combs, shared a disturbing account of Diddy's past behavior, alleging that the music mogul once struck his own mother. Deal's recollection paints a stark picture of Diddy's volatile and abusive tendencies, which he claims extend even to his closest family members. During the interview, Deal recounted an incident involving Diddy, his mother, Janice Combs, and Kirk Burrows, who was the president of Bad Boy Records at the time. According to Deal, Burrow had previously mentioned that Diddy had slapped his mother. Kirk Burrows, the president at the time, a Bad Boy, told me that he smacked his mother. Deal detailed an unsettling encounter in a limousine parked near Bad Boy Records' First Manhattan office. As Deal, Diddy and Janice Combs sat in the car, Diddy was engaged in a heated phone conversation. Mid-call, he lashed out at his mother, saying he said to his mother, "Yo, didn't I tell you to stay out, mom?" MF business. Deal, outraged by Diddy's disrespect, confronted him immediately. "I wanted to snatch the shadow off him." Deal recalled expressing his anger and disbelief. He warned Diddy, "If you ever talk to your mother like that again around me, I'm going to beat the ish out of you." Deal emphasized that his reactions stemmed not only from his role as Diddy's bodyguard, but also from his principles and upbringing as a man. "And as a person that I am, I'm not going to let him disrespect his mama." Deal stated firmly. He reminded Diddy that without his mother, he wouldn't have a business to speak of. "But gee, I told her to stay out of business. Let me just say this to you right now. If she wasn't for her, you wouldn't have no business." Jane Deal's testimony offers a rare and troubling glimpse into the private life of one of the music industry's biggest names. He argued that Diddy's treatment of his mother is indicative of his broader attitude towards women. "Any man that put his hands on his mother or disrespect his mother, he'll be quick to put his hands on a woman like that." Deal asserted, drawing a direct line between Diddy's familial interactions and his relationships with women. This interview sheds new light on the personal history of Sean Combs, suggesting that his public persona might be masking deeper, more troubling behavior patterns, some of which may have been formed during his childhood. You see, ever since Cassie filed her lawsuit, Diddy's whole life has pretty much gone down the drain. He's lost over 18 brand deals. He was kicked off his position as chairman at his own company, Volt TV. He's now being dragged to court by the company that distributes his alcohol beverage. And the sad lawsuits just keep piling up by the day. It's definitely not going to be long before he wipes his bank account clean to fund all of these court fees and fines he's going to be paying. As if this wasn't bad enough, people have also been looking into his family to try and figure out how Diddy came to be the kind of person that he is. And man, oh man, people found out a whole lot. It looks like Diddy's raging addiction to drugs, these freak-offs, and his actions against people are tied to his childhood trauma. See, Diddy was still a kid when his father passed away, so in order to provide for the family, his mom Janice was working 3 jobs, and allegedly was one of them. "My mother worked 3 jobs and my grandmother worked 2 at an early age. I started my own paper," wrote. According to the internet, Janice would sometimes bring some of the men that she hooked up with to the house. This is something that she would do often, and Diddy would witness it happen all the time, as if this wasn't already bad enough for an underage kid to be seeing Janice. Also allegedly instilled bad morals in Diddy. She emphasized the importance of establishing dominance, a lesson she hammered home to Combs, aged 9, when another child stole his money. "My mother wouldn't let me in the house," Combs told Oprah in a 2006 interview. She said, "Go back out there and get that money. And if anyone ever puts their hands on you, make sure they never do it again." She knew the reality. If people smell weakness, they take advantage of you. You have to defend yourself. Janice's lesson may also have aligned with his natural inclinations, though his future Puffy moniker stemmed from childhood tantrums. Whenever I got mad as a kid, I used to always huff and puff Combs told Jet magazine in 1998. I had a temper, that's why my friends started calling me Puffy. It's also been reported by multiple sources that his father was a gang leader in Harlem. This was confirmed by Complex magazine back in 2013 in an explosive article where they investigated the parents of a lot of popular rappers. The article read, Diddy's dad D. Melvin Combs was a well-known Harlem gangster who had connections to both Frank Lucas and Nikki Barnes. Janice was the boss's ride-or-die chick after her husband was brutally unalived. When Diddy was still a child, she took to raising young Sean on her own. And if you thought this was bad, wait till you hear about Diddy's very weird relationship with his mother. People have actually been speculating for a while now that Diddy and his relationship with his mom go way farther than the regular mother-son relationship. These rumors got even worse after a video went viral of Diddy and Janice passionately kissing each other on the lips. Love you music. This video was so uncomfortable to watch. In fact, one fan commented, I get having a great mother-son relationship. But something about that exchange was weirdly uncomfortable, like when some mothers use their sons as husbands. A second fan added, men who actively engage in unhealthy relationship dynamics with their mother will rarely have healthy romantic relationships with women. They have a limited concept of boundaries and false expectations, especially regarding loyalty and commitment. He said his mother never really dated or had men around after his dad died, and his father died when he was 3. Diddy has been her man for years. All this is creepy, no doubt, but what most people seem to forget is that Diddy's life has been filled with violence. Before any lawsuit, Diddy spent years dodging a history of public displays of violence and hints of alleged criminal activities. Even though the music mogul has been able to shift his image to his liking, his reputation has never been free of controversy. While Combs clearly took his mother's advice to heart, he also mirrored her work ethic. He got his first job at 12, a paper route, then worked at a gas station and a Mexican restaurant. In addition to selling lemonade, he told Forbes he spent a childhood summer with an Amish family in Pennsylvania through the nonprofit Fresh Air Fund for inner-city kids. And it wasn't long before his mother moved the family from crowded uptown Manhattan to Mount Vernon, a suburb of Westchester County. She enrolled Combs, who was raised Catholic, and served as an altar boy at prestigious Bronx all-boys academy Mount Michael, where he wore the Nat attire each day, played football, and always wanted to set his sights high. Just knew I was going to be an NFL pro player, he told the New York Times in 2012, after he broke his leg, though Combs had to alter his dreams. And it was at Howard that he truly began to flex his muscles of influence and impresario. Combs, by all accounts, began making a name for himself almost immediately after heading south to D.C. to begin his studies at Howard, the historically black university. He arrived at the tail end of the 1980s, when New York-based hip-hop culture was preeminent, and Combs cashed in on that Empire State connection. He wore flashy clothes through parties and began building an entourage. And between classes, he still found time to run a shuttle service to the airport to allegedly sell old term papers and to even hawk t-shirts and sodas. According to Ro Ronan's 2001 book, Bad Boy, The Influence of Sean Puffy Combs on the Music Industry. After protesting students took over an administrative building, he turned newspaper and magazine clips about the incident into poster-seized colleges and sold them back to the participants. Ronan wrote, when Puffy came, he was a very flashy guy. The book quotes classmate friend and fellow undergrad promoter Derek Angeletti is saying he was always out at the clubs, and the young girls loved him. He'd be in the middle of the floor doing all the new dances, and his style of dress was a little more colorful, bolder. Everyone took notice of this cool, overconfident young dude. I was dating at the time, and one night He came up to me and said, "I'd like to throw a party with you. You're pretty popular." The pair began organizing events that Com successfully lobbied celebrities to attend, while shrewdly including his own name on promotional materials, including the one that would make him famous on his first business card. In the bottom left-hand corner, he had engraved Chapuff, and as Ronan wrote, for the next 2 years, "We threw one Dan party near every week," Angeletti says in the book, including a homecoming at a Masonic temple where they expected maybe 1,500, 4,000. 500 people came. The DC police shut down the whole block and brought out the dogs. We had to get on our knees and beg them not to lock us up as Com's endeavors burgeoned. However, so did his ambition, which soon outgrew the Howard campus. He began lobbying record executives in New York for jobs, but soon lowered the ask to internships, securing one with Uptown Records. Andrew Harrell, who famously coined the term ghetto fabulous, Combs initially commuted weekly between college and his hometown.